Here we go.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. Spider-Man, this is what you came for. Yep. Spider-Man No Way Home spoiler review. Woo!
Yes.
Before we start, make sure to follow us on all our social medias, okay? It's in the link in the description below. It's real quick, real easy. Go ahead. I'll wait. Let me stop. Anyway,
Okay.
Let's get into it, man. What you want to talk about first, man?
Man, let me tell you, this movie was like 2.5 hours. Did not feel like it whatsoever. I didn't have to get up to pee at all.
I finished all my popcorn.
Yeah.
Before we got to the best part. We had a lot of food.
We had that popcorn.
I ain't never eaten all my food before.
We had pretzel bites, hot dog, fries, mozzarella sticks, that, and 2 medium drinks, and they're really big. And we ate it all.
We ate it all. And
this is
we got this there, but this says homecoming. This one test says no way home.
We tried to get the no way home tip. They didn't have it, so whatever. But let's talk about the villains. All right, so
let's run it down.
We got Lizard.
Yes, sir.
Lizard
sir.
came back. Then we got Doc Ock.
Yes, sir.
We got Green Goblin.
Yes,
Woo!
sir. Okay, a lot of people out there.
Oh
A
yeah.
lot of people out there are saying, there's 2 goblins.
Yeah, let's talk
It's
about
only
that.
one
Let's
goblin.
talk about that.
It's only one goblin.
So yeah, in the
and
movie,
y'all know who the goblin
because we talked about it.
Yeah,
we talked about it. We were looking at the trailers, and we were like, oh, well, that might be Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin. And people was like, oh no, the way to judge, it's not 1, it's 2. Even though we didn't see the movie, it's 2 Green Goblins. And I said, how? How is that? We just know. So no, it isn't. It's only one, and it's only Willem Dafoe. So
There's only been 1 Green Goblin. I was saying, when the devil there gonna be 2? Then Spider-Man would definitely got murdered by 2 of them.
all of that y'all was talking before, cut it.
Dead
okay?
it. It's just Willem Dafoe. And he did an amazing job. He did an amazing job as Green Goblin. Fantastic, okay?
Yes. Every time he was on screen, I got chills because it's like his voice is just a villainous voice.
He looked. I ain't gonna lie. If I saw Willem Dafoe just as a regular person,
I'd be scared.
Obviously, I thought serial killer vibes. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He might be the nicest man on earth. He just give me serial killer vibes.
He does look like a serial killer, like high key. He reminds me of Jeffrey Dahmer. Like he kind of has a Jeffrey Dahmer look.
Like you standing in front of me, buddy.
Yeah.
I ain't never gonna turn my back on him.
But let's get to how the villains got there. So basically, we're not gonna go play by play for the movie, but
No.
just know that the villains got there because people found out that Peter Parker was Spider-Man, and it was messing up the lives of people around him. Like they couldn't even get into the schools they wanted to.
They wanted to get into MIT.
Yeah, just because they knew Spider-Man. Like MJ couldn't go, and Ned couldn't go, and stuff like that.
Jonah Jameson was on
his
Spider-Man.
time.
I can't believe Spider-Man.
Yeah, but so,
I was like, God.
which I love they brought him back.
I love
that
J.K. Simmons is amazing. Okay.
Yes, and so
AKA Omni-Man.
because of that, he went to Doctor Strange to fix that. And
he wanted everybody to forget. First of all, at first he wanted them to rewind time and make sure it never happened. But he said, I don't have the time stone anymore. Go.
Yeah, he was like, did you forget the big purple alien happened? And we kind of blipped away for 5 years.
Yeah.
So I don't have the stone anymore.
Yep.
Basically.
Yeah. But we can make you forget. And this is where the misdirect from the trailer is. Wong is like, don't cast that spell.
Yeah.
But in the movie, he was like, cast a spell.
He said, cast it, but leave me out of it. Because Wong is the new Sorcerer Supreme.
Because Strange got blipped. So
5
Wong was
years,
Dr.
He had to step in.
Right.
Yep, and Wong was in there for maybe 2 minutes tops.
Yeah, he wasn't in there long.
Yeah, he wasn't in there long. He was just in there for a few seconds. He did his little portal, come in, hello, portal, get out. That's what he did.
So in the midst of Doctor Strange doing his magic, Peter was like, can you make certain people forget? Because, Aunt May, Ned, Mary Jane, can you make them forget? He's like, all right,
Sorry, let me get all that off the screen.
Never did this cast mid-spell before.
Yeah, and it is and now I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, it was both of their fault only because, it's only Doctor Strange's fault because he decided to cast the spell. That's really the only reason why it's his fault.
Peter distracted him.
Not that he ruined it.
Yeah.
It was Peter's fault for ruining it because he said, make everybody forget. And so he said, all right, cool. Boom, we'll make everybody forget. Oh, wait, no. Don't let MJ forget. He said, all right, everybody but MJ. No, but Ned, too. Had to do it A third
He did
time.
it like 6
He was
times.
like, all right, he had to do it like
And
6 times, and because he did it so many times, and Peter kept talking, then that's what made everything
Botch
go
the
crazy
spell.
and botch it.
Yeah.
Botch it, yep.
Yep, and that's what made everybody come in from other universes that
Yep.
knew who Peter Parker was in other universes
Yep.
to here. And so that's
Shango.
how
That's how
Doc Ock came here looking for Peter
Electro.
Parker, and he saw Peter Parker's face, which wasn't the Peter Parker he knew,
Yep.
because he knew Toby. So it was like, you know,
Yep.
like, who are you?
Who
And
are you?
that's why he's like, I'm Peter Parker. He's like, no, you're not. He's like, yes, I am. So it was just a whole bunch of like weird stuff. It was cool though.
And so with the nanotech, just for everybody out there, the nanotech was actually got on the Doc Ock, and then Peter was able to control Doc Ock because of the nanotech.
Which makes sense.
Well, it's like a Bluetooth
Cool.
device.
Yep, he basically turned off.
Right.
And he was like, hey, stop.
Right. So that was, and
Yep.
then Green Goblin came, and there was a nice little scene where they edited, and then Doctor Strange took Peter away, put Doc Ock in the prison, and the whole explanation about you got to catch all the people, and then that's which he did. So he went to go find Electro.
Mix and match your favorites at Domino.
He found them all, but then is when we get Spider-Man versus Doctor Strange.
Uh-oh.
They went to the mirror dimension. You see that stuff with the train.
Mhm.
That fight was.
That
oh
fight,
my
and you
god!
know what? In that fight, it's like I understand both sides, because when they had the little contraption that Doctor Strange had that was gonna send everybody back home,
Yeah.
they died in their
They
universe.
died in their
So
universe.
sending them back
Dang.
will make them not exist. Like they're gonna be dead.
Mhm.
And Spidey didn't want to kill them. He just wanted to help them because he's Spidey.
Yeah,
you know?
and then Aunt May was like, "You should help them." You know, she
Yeah,
added on
because
to that.
that's their motto, you know, stuff
helping
like that.
people.
And so that's why Peter didn't want Doctor Strange to do it. And like, and I was like, I get both sides, because it's like, especially watching What If, like
Yeah.
with Doctor
Yeah.
Strange's episode, and saying like, no matter how many times you want to fix something,
Oh,
fate
yeah.
just happens. Like,
Yeah.
so he's like, it is their fate
It is their
to
fate.
die. If they
Exactly.
die there, then hey. And I was kind of with it. I was
like,
yeah.
and then Spider was with it too, but then his Aunt May was like, "No, you have to help them."
Yeah, I was like,
So-
nah, I'm with Doctor
I don't
Strange
know.
on this
Yeah.
one. I'm like, yes.
You can't really change your fate. Like, that's like trying to change your outcome of death. Eventually, you're gonna die anyways.
Send them back.
Yeah, send them
like,
back.
Send them back. And the thing that was so funny with all of the villains is that they all had their own motives as to why they didn't want to go back.
Exactly.
But, well, for one, they didn't want to die if they were already dead.
If they was already there.
Two, like Sandman
Sandman
for
wants to-
one,
wants to
he didn't die.
Yeah.
So like he just wanted to go back to his daughter. So
Mhm.
like them
Yeah.
staying there or whatever, it did not matter to them, because
Yep.
like for Electro, he had a whole makeover, and I'm glad that they addressed that in the movie, because they were like, because Lizard saw him, he was like, oh Max, you
gotta
don't have a comb
comb
over
over?
anymore, your
Yeah.
teeth are fixed. You got a whole new look. You got a new makeover coming
Yeah.
into this world. And
Yeah.
he was like, yeah, I like it. right.
It's a
Hey.
different energy. Ooh, I like it. That's
Yeah,
what
he's
makes
like, I
me
got
so
more
motivated.
power, and I'm somebody here. I
Yeah.
feel good here.
Yeah,
So that's why he didn't want to leave.
Yeah.
Sandman just wants to see his daughter. Lizard just want to make more lizards.
Yeah. Doc Ock's chip is messed up, so we
Yeah.
know that. So basically, Peter grabs all the villains, go back to his new apartment, because the Mysterio fanatics, they all know it's Peter Parker.
It was almost
Right.
like if he had the whole Sinister Six in his apartment and
Yes.
was trying to like fix each one individually.
That's basically what he was doing.
Yeah.
That's what he was doing. He's basically
Minus the sixth
right,
part, but
so-
like then we have five.
Right.
So,
So he fixed Doc Ock,
Mhm.
and then William Dafoe, goddamn Green Goblin, bro.
His
Oh,
Spidey says,
boy.
well, he was on his way to fixing Electro.
Yeah,
And they already kind of fixed.
they fixed Doc.
Yeah, they fixed Doc. And then they were trying to fix Electro by getting all the
Yeah.
electricity out of his body and stuff like that. But that Green Goblin, that dark side of him,
Something was
is
going
powerful.
on. Spider's
And-
spider sense was tingling, and
And he
then
couldn't
like,
identify what it was, and then he finally like figured out that it was Green Goblin.
Yeah.
And that's when he revealed himself as like Green Goblin, you know.
And they was boxing,
Yeah.
boy.
yeah,
Green
they were
Goblin play.
man.
I
let me
will
tell
tell
you.
you, oh god, Green Goblin is such an issue, bro.
The fights that Peter got into in this movie,
They,
I felt those fights, because
They-
like, he was like, Peter, he flies around like before,
Yeah.
like in the other movies, he would fly around,
Yeah.
swing
He
around,
was boxing.
and like just like hit them with a little quick kick and whatever, and then swing away. And
Yeah.
nah, he was
no,
boom, boom,
no,
boom,
no,
boom. Like,
yes,
it was just like, I
Yes.
am beating the mess out of you
yes,
today.
yes.
Like, so
I'm telling y'all, they boxing. I never had one
Yes.
of the DVD collection. I'm getting the DVD for Spider-Man. Okay,
Yes.
they was boxing. It was just good. It was boxing, bro.
Mhm.
And so Aunt May dies.
What? Oh Lord, why did they have to pull a Uncle Ben on Aunt May, bruh? That's crazy. That's crazy, man.
Oh man, and I think they kind of took that from like Spider-Man, the Sony PlayStation game,
thought that she
Insomniac
was going,
game.
Yeah, I really thought that Aunt May was gonna die in the same way that Green Goblin died the first time, like in
Yes.
Tobey.
Oh, that would have been horrific.
You saw his glider in the background and came from behind, so I thought that was gonna like stab her. I was like, oh no! It's gonna do it, but no. It killed her.
I don't know. We don't necessarily.
Yeah,
we don't necessarily know how she died because he threw a bomb too. So
but
she
the
might
bomb
have
hit Peter more than it hit her. The glider hit her.
And so
she died from
bleeding
but she didn't get impaled.
Yeah. Then he had also damage control. Very important. You know how like they basically go around fixing. I mean, not fixing, but like trying to fix the stuff around. So they was in there too, damage control, and so they sent like a damage control unit to go out there and like get Spider-Man, I guess. So
I thought they was coming to
arrest him. I didn't know damage control could do that. I didn't know damage control.
I didn't know it was damage control.
Oh, you didn't know that? Oh yeah, well you probably don't know that. Damage control is like a comic, and they was because you always ask like, what happens after the superheroes do their thing and destroy half the city and go home?
I thought that was just the police.
No, it's damage control. It's a whole other thing. We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
But for those who know, damage control, they in there for some reason. They have military power now.
And then now Ned, he stole Doctor Strange's ring and he was able to do the portals like Wong does.
Yeah, Spider-Man stole Doctor Strange's ring when he trapped him.
Got it.
Yeah, Doctor Strange is there for a brief moment and trapped him into the mirror dimension because
Peter gave it to Ned and then Ned used it. He was like, oh, I wish I could see Peter Parker. And then he did, but it was Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker.
Yes, sir.
And I was like, oh my God.
Yes, sir.
So he was the first other Peter to come. Yep. And he was trying to prove it to them that he was Spider-Man and stuff like that. He had to crawl.
That was a fun little scene. We needed that after that scene. We needed that.
He was pulled into their universe as well. He didn't know how he got there and stuff like that. And then he tried to do it again, and then that's when Tobey came in.
Yeah.
And Tobey didn't have he had his suit on. It was underneath his clothes. We just saw him like in his regular clothes.
Oh.
And it was just so nostalgic.
Nostalgia overload.
And it was like they addressed so many things. Like I love the script that they had because it was like they addressed Andrew Garfield as the amazing one.
Yeah.
Because Andrew was talking to Tom and Toby and he was like, you guys are just so cool. You guys fought aliens and stuff and like I'm just lame. And they were like, no, you're amazing. Like, you're amazing. You're the amazing Spider-Man. Like, like, this is like, you're from the Amazing Spider-Man, so you're cool. Like,
he is.
Y'all fighting purple? Black?
Right,
you said, what last for you?
Because Toby was like, yeah, I fought an alien from space, and then Tom was like, well, I fought a purple alien in space. Yeah. And he was like, I ain't fighting nothing. I just fought somebody, like,
he didn't get his third movie.
I just fought Rhino, man.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not even, like...
I fought a Russian dude in a rhino suit. Hey!
Which I thought that was funny, and the fact that they pointed out the organic webbing that Toby had because the other two didn't have it. And so when they saw him do it, it was like, what?
Make our web fluid.
It came from his veins.
Yeah, because he was like, what are you doing? He was like, this is my web fluid. What you talking about? And then he was like, I can do it on my own. They're like, well, how do you do that?
Does it come from like anywhere else?
And they were really trying to figure it out. It was like, how do you do it?
It was good. The banter between the Spider-Man. Oh, just seeing all three of them swing, bro.
It was
Come on,
good.
bro.
And seeing them call each other like Spider-Man 1 and 2 and 3, and they didn't know who was who. It was like, and it was like, who's Spider-Man 1 and 2? Who's 2 and 3? Like, I don't know who you're talking.
Made Spider-Man's 3.
And I love it because they all work by themselves. Yeah. It's like working as a team. Like, they don't know how. And he was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
So they lured them back in because Doctor Strange created the box, will basically send them back, and then they do their fight, and then it's just they have the cures, and they're curing their villains. They cured Sandman. They cured Electro. They cured Lizard. Cured Doc Ock. They who else did they cure? They cured they literally cured everyone.
Electro.
And then Green Goblin comes back and oh my God, that scene when him and Tom Holland Spider-Man are fighting.
Yes.
It gets brutal.
It gets brutal.
I love it.
I know I like dark stuff.
I know you.
I love it because
tell him about the certain part where he picks up the.
Oh man, I felt it. Okay, so By the way, they're having this fight on Captain America's shield that they added to the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
So it's this big, like, round, like, dome that they're fighting in.
Yeah.
And Peter is, like, looking at him because he was trying to talk to the other Spideys because they were talking about, you know, like, they went to, like, a dark spot in their lives. Like, when, with Toby, it was when Uncle Ben died. And he hunted down the dude that got Uncle Ben and he wanted him dead and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And same thing with Andrew Garfield's one because he lost Gwen and she died and he couldn't forgive himself for that, so he kind of like fell into like this mode of darkness, and he said they don't want Tom to go through that same thing, and so they see Tom looking at the dude that killed his Aunt May just now, like it just happened, like it's not time has not passed that much, like it just happened like maybe 20 minutes, an hour ago, who knows?
Damn.
It just happened. So he's looking at Green Goblin like, I'm trying to kill you. Like
he was going to kill him.
He was flipping him over. He was boom, 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 and then using his webs to bring him back up. If he was falling, because he was going to fall over, he said, "I'll get back up." Boom, 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 and then that's when Toby had to intervene because he picked up Green Goblin's glider and was about to stab him, and I was like, he's gonna kill him the same way he died the first time. I was like, I was like, ain't no way you want to do this, and then that's when Toby was like, no, like just like looking at him, he stopped him, like, don't do that. I don't want you to be dark, like don't do it, and stopped him. And I was just like,
and I was whispering to Jazz, oh no, because I already knew it was gonna happen. Jasmine thought I had his 8th sense.
I know what he was talking about.
I said, oh no, and then that's when as soon as I said, oh no, he stabbed Toby. I was like, no!
Yep.
And so he stopped him with the glider.
Yep.
Andrew Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man threw the cure
antidote.
to Tom, and Tom stabbed Green Goblin with the cure and actually cured Green Goblin.
The dark side of him and everything. But the one part that I was right when we were predicting, like when we saw the trailers and stuff, and you know that scene when we saw MJ fall off the scaffolding, and then like she's like falling almost the same way Gwen did, and we were like, what if she does die? What if she doesn't and everything? And I was like, I think that Andrew is going to save her because that already happened to him. So I think that he's going to do it again. And he did. Because it was like Tom did try to save her, but he got sideswiped by the Green Goblin's glider. And so then Andrew saw what was about to happen. He was like, no, this is not about to happen a second time. I don't want Tom to go through that. And so that's why he went and saved her. And I was like, oh, thank God. I was like, oh. But I knew somebody was going to die. I knew either MJ or Aunt May was gonna die in this movie.
Well,
somebody had to
go.
Okay, somebody had to go for Spider-Man to fully have his Spider-Man experience. Somebody got to die.
Yeah.
And so Dr.
Strange
Strange was able to get back to where they were, because he was opening up the portals, and then he was like, the spell was able, because Green Goblin destroyed the box.
Yeah.
And so he was like, the spell, it's coming through.
And it was starting to see like other people from all the universes started coming in. And I kind of saw like little like shadows of like, I saw Rhino, right? I saw Rhino's like shadow like come in and stuff like that. So I was like, oh no.
Oh no. I'm like, all the Spider-Man villain in one area? Oh no. So that happened, and he was like, you know what? You gotta make everyone forget. So he made everyone forget that knew Spider-Man who was, and nobody knows Spider-Man's identity.
Nobody knows Peter Parker.
Peter Parker, I'm sorry. Yeah, Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
They know Spider-Man.
They know Spider-Man,
it's
not Peter Parker. Yeah, excuse me. Sorry.
Yeah, so MJ doesn't know him anymore, Ned doesn't know him anymore, and so it's like he's like a stranger now.
Yeah.
But in and let's talk about the credit scene, the end credits, okay? So for the end credits.
The first one.
Yeah, the first one, because a lot of people left. The first one, it showed Eddie Brock, and he was in Mexico. He had a hat that showed like Mexico. So like, okay, he's there, and like this dude is like kind of like filling him in on like what happened, and like Thanos and all that stuff. And he was like, okay, so there's the Avengers, and there's like this dude that's green called the Hulk, and Iron Man. He was trying to figure out who Iron Man was and stuff like that. And as he's talking, he starts to disappear again.
Yeah.
Because like in the main movie, when they were sending everybody back home to their own universes, it looks like Eddie was getting sent back to his own universe, but he left a little part of symbiote on the table, and so that's making me think, okay, so not Eddie Brock's Venom is not gonna be in the MCU
anymore
officially,
right?
Seems
but
like it.
another symbiote will. Now I don't know if it's going to be another person playing Venom
or Eddie Brock.
Yeah, I don't know if that means that another Venom is going to be there, or it's going to be Carnage, or it's going to be somebody else, because you know, like Carnage was born from
Venom. So it's a
So
little.
it's like
It's gonna be a little messy.
It's gonna be another
figuring it out.
symbiote that exists.
Yeah,
in
100%.
this
100%.
MCU,
Yeah.
but it's not gonna be Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they basically told
It
us.
may, not the Venom Sony verse stuff.
Not Tom
it's
Hardy.
still,
It's not gonna be him.
Yeah, it's still a little. We gonna figure out. We gonna figure out what happens with Morbius, because the MCU Vulture meets Morbius, so we
missed something.
What we miss?
Daredevil. And
Oh shit! I said it wrong. Oh. How did I forget that?
Go ahead.
Yeah, Daredevil was Peter's lawyer, like everybody said he was.
Blind ass is Peter's lawyer? Really?
So yeah, Daredevil was in the joint too.
He was in the first 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, and I forgot because it was just so much.
It was in the first 5 minutes. All you saw was that
Walking
stick.
cane.
And
The stick. And it was like, oh yeah, so.
And he caught a break without looking at it. He was like, how'd you do that? He was like, I'm just a very good lawyer.
It was like, oh! Everybody, that crowd was like, oh! So the people that watch Netflix's Daredevil, I think they're gonna do like a soft reboot and then put Daredevil because.
So now he's officially in the MCU. They also showed what's his name from Star Wars as like a little like figure.
Oh, Palpatine.
Palpatine.
They just do like a little.
So basically, I was saying
Star Wars
in the MCU now too. So
I can't wait for the crossover to happen.
Funny.
But yeah, and then that happened. So that whole thing with the Sony universes thing and Tom thing,
I don't
know. We don't know where they gonna go with it. We just know
like
Spider-Man in the MCU is gonna have 3 more movies.
Yeah.
He basically gonna have his college years.
Yeah.
You guys are familiar with the Spider-Man 90s cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
He was in college.
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna be like that. And we love the 90s Spider-Man. Oh my God.
And they also, Electro also said, like, with all these different Universal Spider-Man stuff, he's surprised that one is in black. And we're like, so this is the second time that y'all are talking about it. So that means that y'all might bring in an actual person for an in-person and not cartoon version Miles.
Yeah.
So I was like, that might come in one of those future 3 movies. We might see
Miles finally because he is in the he is technically in the MCU verse.
Yeah, he is.
We saw Childish Gambino, Donald Glover,
the Prowler.
Yes, the Prowler.
Yeah.
Uncle Aaron.
And he said, my nephew. He mentioned his nephew, which is Miles. So that's the
so
second
he's
time.
in the MCU.
Yeah.
We're gonna see what happens, man.
But at the end,
mm-hmm.
they also showed scenes from Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. That's the part that everybody walked off and didn't see.
Oh, God. We're not going to say much about that because
they did a lot of reshoots.
They did a lot. They doing reshoots and stuff, but it looks hype.
The one thing that makes me hype about it is that in that trailer, like
mm-hmm.
I think they showed Dark Doctor Strange.
I think
so.
From What If? I think so too.
Yeah, so
I'm not sure.
Oh, that's gonna be so lit.
Yup. We saw. We're not gonna say too much because we're gonna wait for the actual trailer to come out. Because that was the trailer.
Yeah.
We saw some people in there. We're not gonna say much because we don't want. This is just Spider-Man's turn. Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly.
I love J. Simmons in there. He was
on Spider-Man even after he forgot that Peter Parker was Spider-Man.
I know.
Because he was on Peter Parker the whole time. Like, Peter Parker, he's a menace. He's a
And
then
when he
forgot, he said, Spider-Man's a menace. How dare he not show us
Spider-Man is a menace. How dare he not show his face?
If he's a real hero, he's going to show us what he's doing. He's going to let us know what his name is. So like, what the...
Either way, he hates Spider-Man.
Either way, you're on his case, yo.
And then but also, those guys don't have to worry about Spider-Man's Stark Tech inspired suit. He crafted his own suit. It's back to the classic
but
Spider-Man.
It's a little shinier.
A lot shinier.
Yes,
a lot shinier.
But it's a lot shinier.
But so I think that's going to helm his new trilogy, and he might have a new Spider-Man suit for this next trilogy, because we know he's going to have 3 more movies, and I think he has a cameo in the MCU, and then we're going to see what Sony does with their verse.
Yeah.
We're going to see Morbius, and we're going to let you guys know what's up with the Morbius connection and everything like that. Stay tuned, y'all. Y'all already know it's the way it is.
It was a good day.
It was a great day. It was a great day. No way home, but we finally made it home. Anyway, here we go. Comment below. Let's
Don't forget to like, share.